What up is Marcus with Dynasty Football Dads, review daily Dynasty videos. Now this is an important one for draft pick value, and I'm going to put a little chart up here with the draft pick values that I've created using, it's like 6 different calculators and trying to add them all together and then compare them and figure out all these different values. I'm an analytics person, I'm a math person, so I want to figure out, well, I've had draft picks like pick 3. If I trade back to pick 6, what should I get with pick 6? What do I deserve to get back with pick 6? And is it worth it? These are all very, very important questions, especially if you have an early pick. What is pick 2 worth? What is pick 1 worth? And now, of course, when you have like specific years like Trevor Lawrence, know that that pick might be worth more than what this is saying. This is only draft pick trading. So this is one draft pick for another draft pick. This has no player values or anything like that. This is purely just what the draft picks are worth. Does that make sense? I hope it does, okay? Because pick number 1 is worth 1,000. Everything is based off the scale of 1,000. I tried to make it easy that way so you could see, like, let's just say, spoiler, pick 15 is worth 109. So you would need almost 10 pick 15s to equal a pick 1, which is kind of crazy to think about. You would need literally 10 pick 15s to have a pick 1. But that's what it is. But pick 1 is 1,000. Pick 2 is going to be 848. So to get to pick from 1 to 2, you would need to add, if you look at the chart, probably between pick 13 and 12. So between 12 and 13, you would need to add to pick 2 to move up to pick 1, which is an important note to have because some people might be asking for more or less. In a super flex league, of course, you're going to have Trevor Lawrence as 1, and he's probably worth more than 1,000. In certain years, you're probably not going to have that generational talent, and if you don't, then 1,000 is probably what it was. So like CEH last year, especially in standard leagues, was worth 1,000, and if you look down, like pick 3 was probably J.K. Dobbins or DeAndre Swift or CeeDee Lamb. And if you got pick 3, which is 689 on the chart, 689, so you would need so you'd need another 300, so you'd need probably pick 8. So you're talking about trading CEH or Jonathan Taylor for a CeeDee Lamb, J.K. Dobbins, and a pick 8, which is maybe like a Jalen Reagor or a T. Higgins, somewhere around those lines, maybe even Justin Jefferson. So the rest of the trades here, you got pick 4, which is 574, pick 5, 489. So, I mean, realistically, if you want to go from like pick 1 to 5, you would need 5, 6, and like 15. And these are just values based off all these different generators, I guess you can call it. And so when you look at this, I think this is super valuable and super important when you look at it because if you look at just one auto generator, it might say one thing, and then the other one says, oh no, this is a great trade. But if you combine them all together, you at least get an average and know what kind of average pick value there is. So I always like to do these quick little videos to say, hey, what are the analytics behind it? And it shows that really top heavy, if you have a top like pick, I mean, that's 1,000 and it drops drastically. I mean, you're talking, it goes all the way down to 300 at pick 8. And then let's say you drop another 8 picks, you're going down to pick 16, that's 96. So you drop 700 points and then you drop 200 points. So it just shows how top heavy, the more you're going up, the higher that value is. And it shows that with different fantasy football analytics, that if you have a top 3 pick, you're even a top 6 pick, actually, it shows in analytics with a different video that we've done that your percentage of hitting per week basis is going to be a lot greater, and you're going to have a lot less busts, and you're going to have a lot greater wide receiver 1 and running back 1 weeks, chances at least, compared to somebody that is going to be in that bottom half of the first round and even in the top half of the second round. And so you can see that, like, even all the way down to pick, let's go pick 24, which is 25 points. I mean, 25 points, you would need a lot to go from end of a pick. I mean, so the end of a second round pick is not super valuable. I mean, we're talking 25 points, which is incredibly minute. I mean, to go from an end of a second round to a beginning of a second round, which, I mean, you're looking at 145, you would need like 7 second rounders. So it just kind of shows why some of these trades I see, and I'm like, oh my goodness, you just gave up the third round, you gave a third overall pick for 8 and like 14. And if you look at the chart, like 8 and 14, you're talking about 430, and you just gave up, I don't know what I just said, third pick, the 689. Like, you're giving up too much value when you're way up towards the top. And the other way, you can use this chart to start targeting and packaging picks to go up higher, knowing that these are going to be more valuable. And every draft is going to be a little bit different. 2020 was an amazing draft class. 2021 is supposed to be a really good draft class as well. Now, I should actually phrase that this is mostly non-superflex. This is mostly non-superflex. And I did not do a chart of superflex, and I bet these values would change slightly because you're going to have a little bit more depth up towards the top. But this was all done because most of my leagues personally are not superflex. But I actually have used this during a superflex thing anyways. But I mean, I'm just saying most of these are not used with superflex. I hope you like the chart. If you need it, probably just screenshot it and cut me out. You don't need me. You can use it. It's all yours. You can use it as well. I mean, I print this off with all the draft picks of each team that they have. So I have an idea of where I can make trades and who has what, because the last thing you want to do is go into a draft being, oh crap, I have pick 4 and 3 players are gone that I really, really like, and be like, well, who in the world do I trade with? Especially if you have a limited time. We only have a couple minutes, so we have a limited time. So I need to know, okay, well, these are the 3 teams that I know that I could potentially get value, and these are the exact trades that I can make if my player's not there. And it's called preparation. Knowing that preparation's key, and knowing what you can trade for and what you have with some of these different values, I think is just important. But this is Mark with Dynasty Football Dads. We're going to give you daily Dynasty football. If you want to see this mug again, please subscribe, and I'll see you tomorrow.